welcome everyone to a podcast of monumental proportions. This is Cowabunga Ranger Talk. I am Maska, and with me, as always, even in voice, is my show partner here, BTV83. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm just behind the scenes today, Sometimes you have technical issues and life gives you lemons, you squeeze them, right? You make lemonade or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The executives at Cowabunga Ranger Talk cut your budget. The
Yeah,
big
it's
wigs.
common
Yeah,
these days.
yeah, that happens.
I'm using too much technology on my computer. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, bro. Kind of like just touching base with everyone. We appreciate you guys watching the show. Today we're doing a little. We're gonna be doing news, but we're doing a little bit of catch up. So this news is about a week ago or a week or so ago. We're gonna be covering a lot of the Toy Fair stuff in the news. And but before we do any of that, I want to talk about something that like just like bothered the hell out of me, and it made me feel like I just wasted an hour and 40 minutes on nothing, and that is this right here, Reese Witherspoon, Reese Witherspoon, Sweet Home Alabama. Oh my god, bro! I'll watch almost anything with Reese Witherspoon because I think she's a very talented actress and whatever. But this is like I paid $1 for this from a pawn shop because it's DVDs and it's 2025. But for $1, you know what I mean? The hell with it, right? You're
Yeah.
not gonna lose much with $1. And it's got her and it's got Candice Bergen and uh, I don't mind watching a romantic comedy once in a while, and that's what this one was. But here's the reason why I want to like throw this straight in the trash is because the the idea is that you've seen this movie, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, so you
I've
get the
seen it.
idea
Yeah.
is that she's a girl and she's got her life in New York, but she goes to Alabama to get a divorce from her husband she
Divorce
hasn't
from
talked to in 8 years. Yeah, and she hasn't had a
yeah.
relationship
Yeah.
with him for like 8 years, right? And then she just like shows up with a divorce papers. Yeah. Here's what really bothers the hell out of me with this: the boyfriend in New York, the fiance in New York, didn't do anything wrong. Like you in most romantic comedies, you always have like the boyfriend, the BS boyfriend, and then the love of the life, the leading man. But
Yeah.
you give a very thin reason why. Oh, I'm leaving the New York guy. Why? Because he scratches his nose like this instead of like this. Like the stupidest thing, or he says Wednesday with a D instead of an N or whatever. Like the dumbest. Because it's
Right.
romantic
Right.
comedy. That's kind of the purpose. But this guy didn't do anything wrong. Oh my god, that's the stupid. And during the movie, he's like arguing with his mom, which is Candice Bergen, and he's like, "Come on, mom, she's not that bad." And she's like, "Oh, but she's trailer trash. Oh, she's an Alabama girl. Like, what do you want that garbage for?" Well, what are you? You're gonna ruin our reputation, because they're like rich people or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. Like she just leaves him because she leaves him. There's no reason why she leaves the New York boy, the New York fiance, and goes back to the deadbeat husband that she hasn't talked to for 8 years. So it's like, bro, I understand like thin veiled reasons. You can give me a thin veiled reasons, but like, come on, bro, give me something. Like,
Right.
I don't know. It just like bothered me so much, and I was thinking, how can somebody? This production was. You gotta look at it. It's a romantic comedy with starring a 5-star actress, right? Because Reese Witherspoon is a big top celebrity actress. Fine.
Oh yeah.
Let's say this movie cost 50 million to make, right? More or less, because I think it was in like 2007 or 2008, whatever the movie was. Bro, like 50 million for a movie, mainstream movie. Because I remember this movie actually came out in the movie theater, so this is like a decent budget movie. You figure you get nothing for those $50 million. Like nobody realized that the New York fiance didn't do anything, and it's like the dumbest thing. Like she just goes back to, and she's arguing with the deadbeat husband, and I can't believe we're talking about this on our show, but it just bothered me so much. But it's like
Wow.
she's arguing with the guy, right, the deadbeat husband, through the whole movie, and like the last 15 minutes, she like looks at him twice and finds out that he's been going to New York, like I don't know, like delivering fish or something stupid, right? Because he's a
Something
plane,
stupid like that. Yeah.
yeah, he's like a private plane tour guide or something. Right? So he's been, oh,
Yeah.
so he's been checking in on me, but you haven't even talked to this guy in 8 years, and you just show up and like, give me the divorce, give me the divorce, give me the divorce. I'm like, bro, it's like, I don't know, they weren't even trying. Honestly, I like Miss Congeniality better, bro.
Yeah.
I, I can't believe I'm saying that, but I like Sandra Bullock in that one, and it also had Candice Bergen in it, so it was funny. It was just like it literally made on my mind because no reason, absolutely no reason, and no chemistry with, honestly, bro. And since you've seen this movie, if I'm wrong, please, correct me. I don't mind differing opinions, but she doesn't have
Okay.
chemistry with either one of the guys, right?
Way I remember it, no. She gets back to Alabama trying to get a divorce from her ex husband. He's pretty much a drunk and he doesn't want to divorce her because he's still basically in love with her. And yeah, she doesn't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's the weirdest. I'm in love because he goes on like 3 dates in the movie. So, like that's some love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the deadbeat husband is. He goes on like 3 dates, and it's just to like stretch out the movie because if not, I guess the movie would be like an hour shorter. But it's like, come on, bro. I've seen the From Dusk Till Dawn, the direct to DVD movies because they did like Dusk Till Dawn
Yeah.
3, 3, 4, 5. Those are the cheapest, like, and even those have better like run times. Yeah, bro, this. It made
Yeah.
no sense. Yeah. But that's what people come here for the Reese Witherspoon talk, right? Like that and
Yeah.
automotive,
Well,
obviously. That's
let me change up let me change up the topic a little bit then. I actually sat down and watched all three original Karate Kid movies. No, all four. I actually watched the one with the girl too. All four original Karate Kid movies. But I tell you what,
okay.
watching them and as somebody that's been editing videos for a few years now,
Yeah,
the first one to the third one, I get it. I get where they go from each one, but they messed up. They could have done the first movie had a different ending to lead into the third movie, even if they made the second movie first before the third one. In the first one, they end with the karate tournament. The second one, they go back to that ending and finished it out before they leave to Tokyo, or before they leave to Okinawa. When they come back to Okinawa, they start with John Reese, the bad guy that lost the karate JoJo and all that, and
mm-hmm.
you see Silver and all that. But they could have done all of that somewhere in the second movie, so it leads into the third movie. Like at
Yeah,
the end of the second movie, they could have had that. Like, oh, like 2 months ago before leaving to whatever. It made no sense going from the first movie to the third movie. Like it just the timeline just kind of cuts. You
yeah,
know, and then the way that Ralph Macchio acts in the third movie should have really been in the second movie, leading up to the third movie. It's like they
yeah,
mixed them up. Is my like I'm saying is they like mixed them up somehow. It was really weird. So
yeah,
yeah, it was good movies. I love the movies. I still do to this day. But it was like watching it now as a person that does editing for videos and stuff, going that didn't match up. The storyline doesn't even match up. The third movie should
yeah,
really have been the second movie, and then this third movie should have been the no, the second movie should have been the third movie. I'm just being too much critiquing of it. I love the Karate Kid. I love Cobra Kai, but just seeing the
Yeah,
movies in order, going, that did not make sense.
yeah, because that's your franchise. I get that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a Terminator fan, and you want to talk about not making sense? We can go
Oh no, let's
really
not
start
go
about
there.
that.
That movie's
But
all that line is all screwed up. That line's
oh
all
man,
screwed up.
none of
Okay.
that makes sense. Yeah, but let's move away
No, especially
from Sweet Home
yeah.
Alabama and talk. Kind of switching gears a little. I did see a very good movie, and it's a character. It's an actor that Robert Patterson, Mickey 17. He's the guy that does that's doing the current Batman.
Okay.
Have
Yeah.
you heard of this guy? Okay, yeah, him. He does this
No.
movie called Mickey 17. It's very good. It's a very good movie. The guy's doing an impression of Fry from Futurama during the entire movie, basically. He
Oh
sounds
Jesus.
like, bro, you see this movie and he's like, he uh, he sounds a lot like Billy West in the whole movie. And Billy West is a voice actor for Futurama and whatever. So you're like, is that Fry? Like he's acting like Fry. He sounds like Fry. And this honestly, this is like the first movie I've seen with Robert Patterson through because I've seen clips of him and other stuff, but this is like I saw the movie from beginning to end starring him. It's his movie, because he plays like this guy that volunteers to become a, a splice clone. It's very
Yeah.
good movie. It's very. I recommend it to anybody if you know are in the theaters right now. It's playing and it is well worth the money. Watch it for what it is, but I didn't think he was that good an actor. I like I said, I seen clips of him in Twilight, and I didn't think he was very good. I did not like the Batman with him. I thought it wasn't for me. Let's put it like that. But here, he's likable. Like I liked him in this movie. I think I don't see this becoming like a franchise or anything like that. I think it's pretty much done because it's a one and done movie. But still, this is the most likable thing we're seeing of him. Like like as far as likable people, the guy that was playing the Falcon in the Marvel movies. He was playing Black Falcon, and then he got
Yeah.
the Captain America shield. Yeah, Anthony Mackie. I've never liked him in
Yeah.
anything, but I like him in Twisted Metal. That TV show, the Twisted Metal TV show, and I think season two
Oh,
is gonna
okay.
come
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I think that's his best thing, honestly. But yeah, but I think we've kind of like diverged enough. You ready for the Playmates part of the news, buddy?
Let's get it rolling. Let's do this thing. Yeah.
Awesome sauce. So there was a lot that came out of Toy Fair as far as Playmates. So we're starting with that. And we're also going to be covering the original Dino Megazord, which is one that we've wanted to cover for a while now. So we'll have that to look forward to. And then we'll finish out the second half of the news afterwards. The first news topic is the sewer layer, the re-release, the classic sewer layer, the Playmates. That's going to be a 1-for-1. So that's exactly the same size as it was originally. So there's no shrinking, there's no smaller, there's no nothing. It is 1-for-1. They just changed the box dimensions, but that's basically the. So that's good news.
Yeah. Very good news.
I'm excited
There's really
for it.
nothing really just.
Yeah, it's 1-for-1.
Yeah. I mean, people that already have the Technodrome, have been looking forward to that. They were hoping, and now they're getting it. So
Yeah, I think that's where they dropped the ball because they even said it in a couple of interviews, videos. Like, oh no, we heard the feedback about the Technodrome, which there wasn't anything wrong with the Technodrome. The problem is it was smaller. It was like 20% smaller than it should have been. So
yeah.
they heard the feedback, and the sewer play set, the re-release, it's interesting too because it's compatible with both.
Hmm.
So it's compatible with the small Technodrome that we have now, and it's also compatible with the original because this is 1-for-1. So you could hypothetically, if you have like a nice Technodrome from back in the day, and you just need the sewer layer, then you're straight because the piece is connected. But if you have this
Yeah.
one and everything's gonna fit. So that I'm relieved to hear that, honestly. And everything's gonna come in the box. They're not like shortchanging you because when you do the re-releases sometimes, oh, we're gonna remove the pole or we're gonna move this, we're gonna remove the elevator thing. No, everything that was in the original
Yeah.
is coming back. So good job, Playmates. Very good job. Very happy to see that too because the Playmates Turtles they needed a win, so that's a good thing. The next news item is we actually talked about a little bit about this off air. The Foot Cruiser, the Playmates Foot Cruiser is coming back.
Oh yeah.
The the one that's
I
the
still have my
neutrino
original
car.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I still have that.
yeah, that one's coming back, and that's a one for one too. Because on display they were showing off the Foot Cruiser, but it's the original Foot Cruiser.
Hmm.
But some of the
Yeah,
pieces
I
were
was
missing,
very shocked about that.
so they
Yeah.
have to like remold some of the missing pieces, which is crazy. I've never seen a company actually admit to that. Like, hey, you know what? We lost this, thing, so we're gonna fix it.
Well,
So that's good.
come on, they still have the blueprints at least, so it's not a big deal. And you know what they're doing now. Now they're just going to scan it in. They're just going to use that 3D scanner to scan in the design and boom,
Yeah,
done. So, it makes life easy. It's not like they have to draw it out and then build it out of like, styrofoam or something.
yeah. Well,
So, yeah.
I appreciate Playmates is it's very smart because like we were talking off air about it. Like if you release that Foot Cruiser in red and then you release it in blue, then you have the neutrino cars.
Hmm.
So it's a easy repaint and it's easy sales. I hope
And
they
I
do
won't,
that. You know I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I won't even lie. As a kid, I had the, one of the two neutrinos and I used to put Mikey and the neutrino girl in it.
Yeah,
Uh, what was her
Nala. Yeah,
name?
Nala.
Nyla.
Nala.
Yeah. Put her both in that cruiser, even though I knew it was for Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady. I was like, it's a Neutrino's car. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
that's
think
what I.
that's a cool vehicle. I always have.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping they release again. Because with the classics, they're like re-releasing Rat King and all of these other figures that like we had, but just like a clean version. I hope they
Yeah.
release the neutrinos again because I personally have like my neutrinos are in very rough shape, and I'd like to have a clean version of them. So
Well,
here's
I will say
Playmates. Come
this,
on,
and I have seen previews for the Army turtles, the military turtles. Have you
yeah,
seen those? Yeah, they have
yeah,
those
yeah.
coming
I've
back
seen
soon
those.
too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I've seen those. Those are pretty close. They found most of the accessories for that too. So because with Rat King, I
yeah,
think they lost the some of the weapons, and they were like, you know what, we're not giving Rat King everything, but at least you have like the crossbow from the Rat King, the re-release. So that's good. Next, there's two more waves of Tales of the Turtles coming, but they weren't allowed to be photographed. So I don't know what these
yes,
characters are, but those were the ones that, that we had kind of heard about. That even Pixel Dad had to like move the camera back down because you can't film this part because you'll
yeah.
spoil
There is
season
a
two.
okay. Well, I will say this: there is a picture leaked online, and I could not find it. I saw it once, but I cannot
Yeah.
find it again of that table that they wasn't letting anybody photograph. So, um,
Okay. That's
yeah.
the season two. That's
If I
what you're
could,
saying.
yeah, if I could find it, I'll send it to you. I won't send it online anywhere because I don't want to have a flagged video or uh, somebody coming after me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I get you.
yeah,
I get you. Yeah. Yeah. I think Tales of the Turtles two is supposed to be what, August or something. The season two is
yeah, I think
dropping in
so.
August. July or August,
Hmm.
somewhere around there. So that's good. Hopefully they bring in more characters or like change them a little bit, you know. But we'll see what happens there. Next news of Playmates is we actually got confirmation for the specific license for Power Rangers. So the Power Ranger license with Playmates is going to be for 3 years. So we
Hmm.
got confirmation for that. That's clear. And the setup is that we're going to do the first 3 seasons. So that we're gonna we're gonna actually get a good, hopefully, because if people support the line, you know, you're gonna get to fill out a lot of roster gaps that we had as kids. So, or did or people that are collecting now, because there's
Yeah.
people that get into Mighty Morphin now. Power Rangers is
And you know
everywhere,
what?
like you know.
Yeah, I'm a big promoter of that line, but I'm just gonna say this, and anybody that's listening can disagree with me or not. If this first few products of this line passes, just think what you can have. You can have a Dragon Zord, a Tiger Zord, you can have a Serpentera, you can have all sorts of different Zords that Hasbro never gave to the kids line. That should have been for the kids line. You could have a whole new set of Metallic Rangers. You could have the Ninja Rangers back in their different forms. You could have all sorts of different enemies, like the lipstick girl. You could have the turtle with the light post on his head. Hey, maybe even Rito Repulsa. I mean, there's so much they can do in 3 years, 3 seasons, 3 years. But
Yeah,
you got to
that's
support the
already
line. That's
locked
the
in.
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, people got to support this line, or they're not going to do it, and they're not going to do a collector's line if people don't support the line. So, only thing they're doing right now for collectors is that Bandai, like what is it? It's 8-inch Bandai toy
yeah,
remake, and that's it at
that's
the
a
moment.
little yeah, that's a little further along, but yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
going what I appreciate about Playmates actually have doing this press release and like talking about it is like whether good or bad, because that goes into opinion and taste and whatever. At least we have a game plan. You know what I mean? At least we know what we're doing
Yes.
tentatively, so we know where we're going. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and then next year we're gonna do that, and season one, season two, season three. So at least we have a game plan. Some people can be, oh man, we're doing more Mighty Morphin, but that's the beginning. That's the beginning of Power Rangers. You're always gonna go back to the Mighty Morphin, whether you like to or not. It's like
And if
it
and
just
if you
is
have
what it is.
kids, if you have kids, you're not going to show them Ninja Stone first because they're going to be like, "What's this? Where did this come from?" Sit them down and go, "This is what I watched as a kid. What do you think of this? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Oh, you like this? Okay, well now let me show you Dino Fury or Dino Thunder or something. What do you think of
Yeah,
this one? You can start there and be like, well, if you like this one, you might like this one because this one has the same actor as this one did. You know,
yeah,
um, yeah,
yeah. So at least we,
and that's the
like I
whole,
said, at least we know where we're going.
yeah. And
Hasbro
I
hasn't
think
given
I think
us that.
Playmates is a,
Saban hasn't given us that.
I,
So
no, I think Playmates is the good
Bandai,
choice for toys making. Well, Bandai is something else because Bandai of America was just whatever we can get from Bandai of Japan over here, and we will just change it just a smaller bit. Instead of the blaster being screen accurate, we'll put it with a black barrel. Instead of the Morpher having it correctly put on Mighty Morphin, we'll have it upside down by mistake and make people think, you know, just little things. So I
yeah,
Bandai, for what it was great. Um, yeah, Hasbro was good, but could have done better for the kids lines. I think Playmates, I think it's going to probably hit it out of the ballpark. Hopefully, people will just support the line. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. So the silhouettes and things are two different things. So like now we know that the first wave of Power Ranger stuff, and this goes into the next news item of Playmates, the automorphin. That's the next thing coming out. That's the first thing that's gonna touch
Yes.
base. And I am excited because they went back to the name of automorphin. I did not like what Hasbro did of calling them retromorphin because it makes it sound like a throwback, and you're always gonna go back to it. So it's Like Star Wars did this a bunch of times too. The retro collection or something. Like, oh, this is the
Yeah,
retro Raider, or this is the retro Luke, or whatever. You're always gonna go back to Luke and Vader's, or the this is the retro Yoda. You're always going back to you. I think that was a horrible name, so it's a good correction to going to calling it again the Automorphin. So the six Rangers are coming. What do you
yeah.
now that we've got better views? What do you think there with the Automorphin as the new
Okay.
Starfleet?
So I'm gonna give my same opinion that I gave on my video that I did for my channel. I like the look of them. I don't mind the hinge on the outside. I'm excited for them, honestly. I think the head sculpts are awesome. I'm glad that they colored the weapons. The weapon coloring makes a big difference to me. Um, because why do the old fashioned gray? These are reimagined. If you have a line that's about reimagining the toys that they were, fantastic. And like I said on the
Yeah,
video, that little hand in front might have been a patent because maybe something's on a patent that can't be reused, or you can't touch that. It's not up. Because you know about patents. You have to patent your toy line. So if something's like, oh, well, I'm going to use this and do this. And they go, nope, nope. Bandai has that. Nope, you can't do it that way because Hasbro does it that way. You have to do something else. Again, that's a
yeah,
toy making situation or a patent situation. A good example, Nintendo and the Switch, the Joy-Con thing. You wouldn't believe how many times Nintendo sued different companies for using that same technology. Why? Because it was under the patent. And no company, even if they're working with that same company, don't want to be sued by the main company that's giving them the license. So,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But overall, I think they look good. I like the head sculpts on them. You could tell who they are. And a lot of the times when you got those flip heads, they were so generic.
Uh,
And I could literally go, oh, that's Zach, that's Trini, that's Jason, that's Billy. Um, yeah, I really wish Billy had. I think Billy doesn't have glasses, and I really wish he did. But that's just a
no,
little.
he doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. I just wish
Yeah.
he did. That would have just made it perfect.
Okay. So before I give my opinion, I just want to say this because we try to be on this show constructive criticism. So we'll talk the
Hmm.
good and the bad. We're not a bunch of shills and like, oh, it's the greatest, or oh no, it's the worst garbage I've ever seen. We try to be pretty objective about things.
Well,
So
well, honestly, when I
objectively
first saw the
speaking, hold on.
promotion, yeah, when
Yeah,
first saw the promotion, if you really want to know the truth, I thought they looked horrible until I saw it on a video, and then I just got my mind changed. But that first
yeah,
promotional thing, I was like, "What the hell is that?" But
yeah,
yeah, you get the point.
yeah. What I really want to say as a huge negative for the Playmates thing, and it isn't even the line. I'm not even there yet. But I think whoever did the setup for the Power
Mm.
Ranger toys, for their
Need to
displays,
be
for the
slapped.
actual toys, oh my god, what a horrible job. You had the Megazord tilting over. The Rangers weren't like all in frame. You couldn't tell if they were like big bulky chests or not. Like in some pictures it looked good, in some pictures it looked bad. You don't know what the hell you're looking at, bro. Like I was looking at it from like different videos because I'm interested in this, right? And it's like, how come
Yeah.
this looks good here and then it looks bad here? You're filming the exact same thing. Oh my god, bro! Whoever did the
I,
display, oh my god, what a terrible job! You could tell they didn't
oh
know the
man.
brand.
Yeah.
You could tell
I'll
that they
tell you
didn't
right
know.
now.
Oh,
Whoever
there's
did,
something.
I'll say this about the display since you brought it up. Whoever did the Megazord display really needs to be slapped because I don't know if that was a prototype Megazord they put together or not, but it was missing stickers that were not missing on the main Zords or not missing on the box. If you look at like the Mastodon box, it had all the stickers where it was supposed to be. On the
Yeah,
setup, it's missing that. And it's like, what are they doing here? They need to really focus on their displays, like you're saying. And it was just,
bad job, bro. It was a bad job,
yeah, yeah, that was just horrible.
and you know, you bring up a super important topic, okay, for specifically for the Megazord, for the Dino Megazord. This Dino Megazord has shooting missiles as its feature, right? Like the pterodactyl has shooting missiles coming out of its thrusters.
Mhm.
The Triceratops has a shooting missile, and so does the saber tooth have shooting missiles. It why didn't you show that off? You just like you set it up wrong. Like, oh look, my Megazord can shoot missiles. Why don't you actually feature that? They didn't feature it. They just had the Megazord leaning over, and they had it in tank mode. That's not
They didn't.
it's such a bad job, bro. If that's the feature for it, why aren't you showing me the feature? Why am I look?
Yeah, and
It, you know what I'm saying? It's been 2 weeks, and I'm talking more about the features than the actual rep or the actual
well,
photography. Like that's bad
let's put it
work,
this way
bro.
too. In battle mode or take mode, they had the hands sticking out instead of having the cannons on the hands. So they had it backwards. They had the hands ready for the power sword and not the cannons that were sticking to the pterodactyl. They had the pterodactyl holding the
Yeah,
cannon still in the back end. I'm just like, you know that was a mistake. You know it because no Megazord was going to be like that. I don't care. And then they had the missiles in the Saber-Tooth Tiger and the
yeah, yeah. They were missing
reminds me
in
of
some
again.
of the
So
pictures. You saw that they
yeah,
were
and
missing. Like
some of it like yeah, in tank mode
what?
they would had them on,
What?
but in Megazord mode they had them off. And I'm thinking to myself, and this is a good point I brought up. They actually have two sets on there. They have two sets. So if you look at the table, and this was something I was watching, I had to watch it over and over again. The saber-tooth tiger had one in his tail and one next to it, and the one next to it looked flatter. So I'm assuming the one thing they forgot to do with the Megazord when it's in full Megazord mode is to have that flatter one in. I know people complain because it's translucent yellow, but it still would look better than nothing,
Yeah,
And that's something I'm curious about when I get it in hand because honestly, it's just thinking about that part just pisses me off that they just really, really sorry about my language did not do a good display at all. They had so much opportunity. They have. I mean, look at the displays they do for turtles. Look at the displays they do for King Kong and Godzilla. They had
oh, the
time to
turtles
build these
was
elaborate
perfect.
displays.
They're perfect.
Yeah,
They did perfect displays for the turtles. They did perfect displays for Godzilla. They did perfect displays for the ladybugs thing that they sell. You know, that's one of their big brands there too. But like, I don't know, whoever did the playmates,
but
the ninjas, the Power Ranger thing, it's not good.
again, they
Not
probably
good
didn't.
at
They probably
all.
not Playmates. Playmates cares. I know Playmates cares, but I think the person that did the display didn't care or doesn't know Power Rangers very well. They're just like, oh, we'll look at the manual and oh, that looks good enough, you know. Because I know Playmates cares about this line because if they didn't, they wouldn't have bought it. You know, they wouldn't have tried to buy it. They just like, oh, it's Power Rangers. No, no company's gonna do that.
Where
McFarlane wouldn't
they're
want
literally
DC.
telling you the game plan. Yeah, they're telling you the game plan.
Yeah,
We're gonna do 3 seasons. We're locked in. Our contract says
mhm,
3 years. We're gonna do Mighty Morphin 1, 2, and 3. That we're going there.
yeah,
And I mean, there's cost cutting things like you were saying about the automorphin that the big pin is in the front instead of on the inside.
yeah.
That's an ugly aesthetic thing. You're right, but also to be fair, the photography wasn't great. So if it looks bad in one angle, but it looks okay in another, like I said, these angles. Everybody that took video there was toy photographers, toy vloggers, toy
Oh
people.
yeah,
So you knew toy people were gonna look at this. What this wasn't like Comic Con where like everybody's coming in. No, these were specific industry people that feed the fan base that were gonna take pictures of this stuff. You should
exactly.
have done a much better job with this, bro. I still haven't seen like clean pictures of the close-ups of the automorphin heads, because you see angles or you see corners, but nobody's been able to take like, okay, here are the 6 helmets, here's the 6 civilian faces. I still haven't seen them, you know. So
Okay.
that was bad.
Um,
That was bad work. They didn't even okay. Here's another thing that since we're being nitpicky, they never formed the power blaster. What?
no, they didn't.
What?
Well,
What?
you know,
I got no words. They didn't
yeah.
form the
Well,
power blaster
okay.
in
No, they
either
didn't,
set.
and they didn't even show any. No,
In either set, because they have a deluxe one
and
coming
maybe
out and the
yeah.
automorphin, and neither set had the power blaster.
Well, you never know. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they didn't know how to set that up either. Or maybe they were just not trying to show that off yet. You know.
Dude, they showed a lot of
Sooner or
like
later,
they went really hard,
you
but
know,
the
yeah,
displays.
they
Ugh.
did. like yeah, there's a lot of displays and there's a lot of things I liked a lot of it, honestly. A lot of it I liked, a lot of it I want to pick up on day one, but like he was talking about the display. The display is just not wasn't set right. It could have had, dude. You know what I would have
I,
done? Okay, this is just my own personal setup idea. I would have had one of the sets of Rangers fighting the other moon palaces or alien bad guys or something
yeah,
cool looking. You know, you're promoting this line for kids slash collectors because I don't care how old of a collector you are. There's people that go back to the original toys and are collecting the original toy collection. Those are those collectors. Those collectors are going to collect this line too. You know, there's collectors that go, well, this is the Bandai years. This is the Hasbro years. I need the Playmate years. So if something happens to Playmates, I still have all the years.
yeah,
It's people that like collect DVDs. They do the same thing. Oh, I have this season, I have that season, I have this season, that season, three times over because this manufacturer made it, this manufacturer made it.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, they could have done something like that. They could have had some kind of battling situation. They could have had I mean, there's so much you could have done with that to make it look interesting. I mean, they didn't
yeah,
even show off the effects, you know, the movements effects of Rita Repulsa or Goldar that you see in the photos promotion, you know, with the putty head spins and stuff like that. Uh, there's so much they could have done, made it look a little bit better, give them more technique of, you know, what's going to happen, how they work, how they play. Only thing I could think of is maybe some of those maybe not move at all. Maybe they're still like the prototypes and they didn't actually have all of them as actual toys. They're just there. But still, even at that, they
okay.
could have.
You just hit on another good point. They for their automorphin, they didn't even show the articulation. They just like, oh here,
No.
and they had a lady with her finger to the back of the character. You're not showing that it has like wrist cuts or it has elbow cuts, and you're really doing a bad job at getting people to look at this stuff. And people are already coming in
Yeah.
with like reservations because let's face it, a Power Ranger fan right now is very reserved. You know, Super Seven ain't doing nothing. These people ain't doing nothing. Like, the only people that are still with Power
No.
Rangers that are Power Ranger fans are super fans because they're like the Mesco or the 3-0 people that are like really, you know, that type of collector. But like the
Yeah.
fan base is pretty
Well,
dwindled. You know?
I will say this for Super 7, they have a great opportunity on their hands that they need to go forth and do it right now. Uh,
Yeah,
as we all know, the guy that plays Squat, the voice of Squat, or played him, I don't remember which one, has passed away. This would be the perfect opportunity to make that character for the Power Rangers line in memory
yeah,
of. Even you could put that on the box, blah 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 blah, in memory of. You know, make it limited. It could just even just be a deluxe version of him or something. You know, to get people
yeah.
to be able to buy it for memory use. But you know, again, look what happened. Playmates already has him, and that was impressive to see that they have every Moon Palace person but Scorpina. But I'm okay with that because that means later on they can make her. But to have
Yeah,
that much of the Moon Palace already done, that's amazing. You
yeah,
know,
that's literally what I texted you because I was like, hey, look, they're coming out with the entire moon base on day one. That's pretty great. I
and
mean,
it
the only
actually
one they're
irritates me.
honestly missing is Finster, but I think Finster they just like held him off because he's probably like the first character of 26 because they got a
But
lot of
see,
product coming out, bro. They got a lot of product, and they didn't have to. They could have done cheap like here's what Bandai used to do is like here's the Rangers, one villain, one putty, and your more color of the day. They are giving you a
yeah,
lot here. They don't really have to. I mean, it's a toy company and whatever, but like product wise, they're giving you Morpher, they're giving you Roleplay, they're giving you Megazord, they're giving you a talking Megazord. You saw that one, right? There's a talking Megazord coming too. That's like just one
yes, I saw
piece.
that one, and
There,
that
it's a lot of product coming to you.
you know what people are complaining about
Plus,
that one, and I think it's kind of stupid to complain about because there are people out there that collect those hundreds of dollars of statues that are exactly pretty much the same thing, but this one articulates and you can change its position. I don't know how much of articulation it is, but it's not robotic. It's just lights and sounds, and then you can
yeah, yeah,
pose it.
yeah, yeah.
So
Because
I'm
it's supposed
thinking
to
to
be the
myself, why are you
sounds.
complaining? Yeah, so while you complain about something, you can pose and put it in a cabinet or something, and take it out every once in a while, like, "Hey guys, check this out," and play a sound or something.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's kind of neat if you're one of those type of collectors that like to collect statues. That this one you can pose, and it looks good. I think it looks fantastic for what it is. Am I buying it? Nope, but I think it looks fantastic.
Well, I think there they okay. So the talking, since we're moving on to the talking Megazord part, the talking Megazord kind of like fills two roles. Originally, in the original toy line, there was a talking Megazord, so this is sort of a revamp. So there's that connection,
Hmm.
and also the reason I think that they also did the talking Megazord is because the 2017 movie. Remember, they had a talking Megazord that was like big. It was like 15 inches, but it wasn't nowhere near as big as the actual Megazord because the Megazord is like a foot and a half tall. The movie, the 2017 movie, and they knew people were
Oh
just gonna
yeah.
buy that talking Megazord to just be done with it. So I think it
Well, yeah,
serves
because
two purposes.
the original
Go for it.
Megazord they had that combined was the original Megazord they had for that movie that combined was just a
Big,
piece of crap. Yeah, I guess it
big,
just didn't.
big.
I never had it, but I heard it didn't stay together very well. So, anyways, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Playmates.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, moving on to the next point. Like you were kind of alluding to it. We're getting the moon base. So we're getting Rita, Goldar, Squat, Babu, and a putty. This is the first time we're actually getting a clean putty. Because we
Yeah,
had a
and
Z
we're getting
putty in
King
the original
Sphinx.
line. Yeah, and we're getting King Sphinx.
King
That's
Sphinx. Yeah.
and there's more monsters, but they weren't shown. Because remember that they did a show in London at the beginning of the year
Yeah.
where they showed off a lot of figures and we kind of gave up the names, but they couldn't take pictures of those. I think those are going to be
Hmm.
with Finster and Wave Two in the next year. Because I think they have enough
Yeah.
stuff to release for this year.
Oh,
That
they got plenty of stuff.
they, honestly, you could do the Automorphin Wave Two, which would be the season two cast, because everybody gets replaced basically, right? Like you lose the Red Ranger, you
Oh,
lose the the Green Ranger. No, I'm sorry. You lose the Red Ranger, you use the Yellow Ranger, you lose the Black Ranger. Uh, you lose the Pink Ranger technically because then we get Cat. Billy loses his glasses, and you stop using the Green Ranger and you start using the White Ranger. So you got six. You got six new, six new reuses for that
yeah.
same body. So it's very smart, very smart that what they can do. Moving forward. The next news item here, and this was kind of like a bait and switch because this is the deluxe line, the deluxe silhouettes. Remember those silhouettes of those figures that I was saying that they kind of look like the Hasbro stuff? Those
Yes.
are gonna come out in like a semi collector line, and that's coming out in 2026. But
And I
but I
think
think
those
that's supposed to
I got to
replace the Lightning Collection. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
don't think it is, but I don't think it's replacing the Lightning collection. I think that's just like the guy says, because the guy was
We're
asked in that
filling in.
video, "Is this?"
We're filling in,
Yeah,
not
well,
fully
filling in. Okay,
replacing.
let's say filling in. But yeah, filling in. But I was looking at um the Dragon Dagger for Tommy on that one because originally when I saw it on a picture, it looked this horrible. But what they did was actually pretty cool. With it, when you actually see it up close,
Yeah,
they're just taking that lightning effect that they had originally for the actual Dragon Dagger when you push the buttons, and they filled it in like that instead of trying to make it look identical to everybody else's. But
yeah,
again, those Rangers look fantastic. I guess there's an issue with the Pink Ranger's helmet, but again, maybe it was just a prototype on the table. I'm not 100% sure because in the photographs, it doesn't look like that problem's there. It's like the helmet's all pink and no like white or metal on it. But in the photos that
yeah.
I saw, it's there. So I'm almost beginning to believe some of the stuff that was on that table is just prototypes. Because it's not
Yeah,
releasing just yet. So
it could be close to release, but not actual finals. I don't think they were finals either.
yeah,
Maybe that was part of the reasons that the displays were kind of,
that could be
But they're not too far from their release because the toy line is supposed to like roll out at the end of July, because like closer to August, but because they said it was going to be coming full, but if you look at the calendar, there's no way you're going to release a toy line in like October. So come on, let's be real. Now that's coming out pretty close. So
Yeah,
that's interesting. What do you think of these like deluxe figures, which are the
I like
silhouettes
them.
that are gonna be? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I like them. I like how much articulation they actually have because again, the competitors that they have that do articulation, that you know who I'm talking about, complain about how much it costs to make articulated figures.
yeah,
Anyways, I think it's amazing that the cost of
yeah.
bringing to the
That's your
table,
boy over there.
you know, yeah, you
Yeah,
got it. But I like it. I like the way they look. I like how the size because then you can actually match them up with the turtles themselves if you want to go
yeah,
back to a retro, play along. Um,
yeah,
you could have put them in this sewer layer. Have fun with that. Yeah, I think it's gonna
yeah,
be a great because I don't know. It looks like they did good. I love the box. The box is awesome. So what they did with
yeah.
that box,
Yeah. If you
that's gonna be
took,
a good
have you seen
promotion
the picture
box.
that the, yeah, have you seen the boxes line up to make all of the helmets?
Oh, I haven't seen
Because
that
they,
yet, but that's awesome.
yeah, that's what. So they're doing like, because the Lightning Collection had originally for the first few years it had like, oh, this is the head and the portrait, the portrait, the portrait, so you can kind of like line them
Yeah,
up like
yeah,
books. Yeah, they're doing something similar to that, so that's good. That I mean, they're doing a 3D render version of it, but still, at least they know inbox collectors are going to probably keep those like that. So there's that.
exactly.
Here's something to kind of swinging back around to the Moon Palace thing. They have special articulation. To like Rita does something with her hand, Goldar does something with his wings, but they didn't show that
Hmm.
off in the display. Like if these characters have features, why don't you? I don't know what Squat does. I don't know what Babu does. I found this out like a week and a half later because Toy Habits put a picture of it up. But like
Oh,
you're at
really?
Toy Fair, yeah, because Toy Fair was
Yeah.
yeah, like they did not do a good job explaining. Like the only thing they kind of like talked about was the battle bikes because they're coming too, and that big
Yeah,
like
those are.
metal jump thing to like throw the character in front. They did kind of talk about that.
I think. I think that's a cool feature, but those are people complain about those, and the complaint they have is uh legit. They have a legit complaint, and I understand it, and I hope maybe they'll fix it down the road or have season two of those bikes that fix it. They're missing the side carts for Trini and Kimberly, but it's a small
Yeah,
feature that they forgot, and I understand it, and it kind of made me feel as I guess I'm gonna say it. It made me feel a certain way, like we're going back in time again, where the girls don't matter, But in this day and age, the heavy collectors look at that and go, "What happened?" You know. But then it comes back
yeah.
around again, where you go, "This is a kid's line. Remember that it's not for us, the adults. It's for the kids."
Well,
And that's the
here's
big thing.
here's an interesting thing too. These figures are scaling at 5.5 inches. So
Hmm.
if you have the original toy line, you can partner these up.
Hmm.
They're gonna scale pretty close to the original toy line. So it's like you're filling in gaps. They're doing a lot of stuff that's good, but bro, that display really put a negative spin on it. I hope whoever does their display for San Diego does better. Don't let it be the same
I
person, please. I'm telling you,
no.
playmates, don't do that to yourselves. You're just gonna hurt yourselves with that. Uh,
I will say though, the detail work they have in those alien monsters are beautiful. The putties, you're gonna have to buy more than one putty because they have different hands. I don't know if you noticed that yet,
yeah,
but there's a picture where he has the sword. There's a picture where he has the rock, and then he has a picture of one that has just the hands. So,
yeah.
um, yeah,
They're at a
you're gonna
good
have
price
multiple
too,
putties you
because
gotta buy.
they're gonna be $10. They're gonna like because
Exactly. It's
you're getting a Rita for $10 in 2025. Shut up. You know, you don't have to.
Yeah, yeah. They could be 15. They could be 20. I mean, yeah, but
No,
it's Playmates.
I
Playmates
think they're
knows
right
how to
there.
sell.
Yeah,
I think
people are complaining
Playmates
because
knows
they
how
don't
to
have
sell
all the paint.
toys.
Yeah,
Oh God, yeah,
oh,
that was the
Rita
biggest thing
doesn't.
about Rita Repulsa.
I don't. They don't have a gold trim to her bra or something. Bro, you got a pen. Come on. I know you shouldn't have to,
The
but is that really like the end all be all? You know, like
Okay.
really
So
for a
what
pen?
I got to say about that is go buy a Super 7, go buy a Hasbro, go buy something that's high quality. If you want a Rita that looks like Rita 100%. If you want a toys line, toy kit line, go buy Rita from Playmates. No one cares. No one cares how much paint's on these things.
It's a
I'm
little
not
off
going to
topic,
expect
but yeah,
Playmates.
I
I
would
don't care
like
how
three
many,
zero to
Rita.
try to do Rita. That would be awesome
Oh
because
yeah, that'd be
if
cool.
3-0 or Mesco try to do like Rita and go, if they did a Goldar, oh man, you're looking at something special there.
You know what though? I'm really curious how much of a difference they would be from Super Sevens.
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
way
the
better,
material rise.
way
Are
better,
you
way
sure?
better.
I don't know
Yeah,
because the detail
yes.
work on this maybe the
Super
Goldar, but the
Seven
detail
isn't
work on
bad. Yeah.
Rita.
Well, they get
They did
more
some really good
screen
with the
accurate.
jewelry.
They get
Yeah,
as far as pieces and stuff. Yeah, but I think they would go more photorealistic. So if Mesco starts doing Rita and Zed and Goldar, what if they did a Goldar? That would be like such a showpiece too. Like, oh, look at this
yeah,
Goldar with these giant flapping
but
wings that can do this and articulate, and because
yeah, I
the
haven't seen
Super
them do
Seven
much.
one just like does this, and the Lightning Collection is basically just because they have two pegs on the back to do the swing, but you could get a lot
Yeah,
more articulation for those big feathery wings. But let's move on to the next news item here for Playmates, and it's this was a big surprise to me. I don't know if it was for you, but the 8-inch 93 figures are coming back. They they showed off four of the characters, and I think they're splitting that wave up though, because they said Billy is part of Wave 2,
Yeah.
but Billy is
Well,
coming because they only had four of the
yeah.
Rangers. You gotta
I
figure they're
will
gonna release
say,
Billy and Tommy or something. You know,
yeah. Can you hear me?
here's yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. So first time I saw those Rangers, I thought it was amazing. But the first thing I thought of, and you're gonna laugh at this, I thought of you. I thought of you because you have those Rangers, and I thought, if you're missing one, this would be the perfect opportunity for you to get it. Like somebody said, oh, they're probably going to release the Green Ranger, or who knows? Maybe they'll release the White Ranger in that version. You have the opportunity to go collect it. I don't have any of those original ones like that tall, so uh, yeah, it's a great opportunity for people that have them that don't have the full collection from Bandai. They can go replace it now. Oh, well, I never got the Yellow Ranger. Well, here's your opportunity, and they'll match
Yeah,
up
you get a clean
size
one
by
now.
size. The articulate, yeah, and you got the articulation the same, and everything's supposed to be the same. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
mean, this is
actually,
just straight out of the Bandai archives.
yeah, I remember we talked about this last year, and I was like, you know, what'd be a good idea if if they figured out a way to re-release these figures. Because I remember we talked about it, and I had my Green Ranger with the broken arm, but still,
Yeah,
like the only thing that I think is not a hindrance, but it's sort of is that they didn't fix the hands because those original 8-inch figures, their hand grabbing was, oh my god. I wonder if they're gonna actually give them their weapons too, because the original 8-inch didn't have any weapons. They just had the blasters in white. So we'll
yeah.
see if they
I
actually
don't
do it.
know. It should be interesting.
If you can, because these hands are like their hands are built like this. That's all you.
Yeah,
You see them like they're built like
I
this. So
know.
they're not built like most grabbing hands. They're built this. This is
Yeah,
your
they're
building
ready.
hands. And if
Yeah,
they would have fixed that, that would have been cool. Or I wonder if they're gonna do more because there was like rumors that they were gonna maybe like keep doing 8-inch monsters. So if they do 8-inch monster,
I heard about that. Yeah, it's
first thing you got to
possible.
do is putty,
Um,
right? You got to do a putty and like retool the body of the Power Rangers to release it again. Because I don't think they're gonna go to vinyl, right? Because remember
no,
the original 8-inch figures were vinyl, so I'd love them to actually make an 8-inch Rita. I wanted an 8-inch Rita to go in my original Megazord and all of this for like forever. So I'd be happy if they did a Rita there. But I think they would probably like reuse the bulk of the Power Ranger body, make it gray, and they change out the belt and the head and the
yeah,
change the hands. I really don't see
yeah,
them going into vinyl. This was big too because this is a Bandai thing, so that means you must have gotten clearance with Bandai. This isn't a Super 7 thing where you get like lost with, oh, Playmates said I can use their sculpts. No, Warner Studios said it. No. You have to get direct permission from Bandai to use these sculpts because, like, you remember this, the original toy line is all from Bandai. It's all from
yeah.
Toei. It's
Bandai
all from
Japan.
Japan. Yeah, yeah, it's all Japan
Yeah.
stuff that was just brought over here and changed out the boxes. But
You just
you
made a
must have
really good point there.
big
You hit
deal,
a
bro.
point that I never even thought about. If you think about what they're releasing and how they're releasing it, like the Dragon Dagger. That Dragon Dagger is almost one for one recreation of the '94 Dragon Dagger, but with the Hasbro paint job. Okay, it's the same size and it still plays the music. It has a few extra things to it that the original Bandai one didn't have. But even some of the other toys that they're bringing out, if you look at it, it's another Bandai line. And I never even thought about it until you mentioned it. And it would make sense why they couldn't make a Bandai Morpher or make the exact blaster the way Bandai did because they probably didn't get permission.
Yeah,
And people, I didn't even think about that the 8-inch ones, even though they said it and I heard it, I didn't even think about it that they would have had to get permission from Bandai to do that. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
That leads into the next point, the next news item of it that the role play is going to be the Morpher, the Blade Blaster, and the Dragon Dagger. So all three of those role play things are coming out, bro. That blast, those are big items. I gotta see this. Here's another thing, another misstep with the displays. They did not do a good job displaying that Morpher. This show's called Mighty Morphin
No.
Power Rangers, and you're not showing the Morphin item. It's just so stupid, bro. Like it'd be like
No, they
He-Man and they're
talked
showing
about
the
it.
He-Man sword. Yeah, but they didn't actually show
Yeah.
you the feet. Oh look, this is how the coins connect. This is big deal because,
No.
bro, you know,
Mm,
even if people are gonna hate buy that Morpher. I hate this. I'm still buying.
yeah.
I hate this. They're gonna hate buy that.
Oh yeah.
At
I
least
love
the
that. I
Morpher.
love
At
that.
least the Morpher.
Yeah.
At least the Morpher. You
Well,
might not buy the Blade Blaster,
you
but come on. The Morpher, you know you're selling the
well,
Morpher, bro.
it looks like it has a multiple, like a little bit of from here, a little bit of A, a little bit of B, a little bit of C. It does
Yeah,
open up. It plays multiple sounds, and it looks like the coins pop in and out instead of being
yeah,
twisted. Because you don't, did not see no tabs, so it looks like they took a little bit of the legacy morpher versus uh the Hasbro voices and all that kind of idea. Even
yeah,
where the Green Ranger coin with the Dragon Dagger fits into it. Now that one, I'm hoping they would release a gold version of the Morpher for that sooner or later. Even
yeah,
if it's with the white Tiger Zord coin. But because that was one thing when they saw that Green Ranger coin, I'm like, that's awesome. But now you're missing the Morpher. So now we're right back to mostly 93 again. But we never got the Dragon coin in general. But we're missing the Morpher still. So hopefully, maybe in season 2 or wave 2, maybe they'll release the Morpher for Tommy. So, but again, I don't think the Morpher looks that bad. And like I
it's
said, you
hard
cannot
corners. I
copy it.
think
One,
that's the issue. Yeah,
yeah,
I think it's
but
the
you
hardness
can't
because it's
copy.
very much an octagon. It's very much like
Yeah,
line, 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 line. here it is.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's not. There's no
Yeah.
curvedness to it. There's no smoothing because like since I'm a modeler, there's no beveling to the corner, so there's no like gradual shift into the morpher. It's just bop bop bop. It's basically like a DVD
Yeah.
box. Like it's cut, 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 and you just cut out these corners, and there's like more or less the shape of the morpher. But
Yeah. No, I get it, but again, you can't,
it's got sound,
copyright
bro.
everything.
Bro, they got sound effects on that thing, and they're selling it for like
Uh-huh.
$16. It's 16.99
I
for a
know.
morpher, for coins, for light up features, for voice. It's like, and you didn't actually show that. Oh my god, bro! You
I
didn't.
they
Oh,
show well on Pixel Dan they showed some of the sounds it did and then how it lights up, but they didn't pop out a coin or anything like that. But I will say it's a sad moment that they didn't pop out the coin to show how the coin works. Is there a button on the back? How does the back look? I wanted to see the back of it. Does it have
yeah,
is it just pure black? Is it pure gray? Does it have a Z on the back like, the morphers do, most of them now? You know, how does
yeah,
it look on the back end? I know I'm being picky at that point, but I like to see all the details myself.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I, bro, they casted a wide net. They casted a very wide net because, like, the next news item in the Playmates section here is the Dragon Zord was hinted at and teased. So they were telling people, "Hey, look, there might be a Dragon Zord next year. They could be. There's a
okay.
chance. There's like, so they're
So,
already. You know, they were gonna do the Dragon Zord anyways. Let's be real, but it's good for them to actually
no, they
be
already
thinking.
they already have.
Yeah.
They already have, and I
They're
don't think
they're
anybody
already
really caught
thinking
it.
that way. They're already thinking that way.
No,
So
no, I mean seriously, I'm serious. They already have, and no one caught it. I don't think. If you look at the micro figures, you got the Dragon Zord already there. So you have the rest of the Zords and the micro figures, like the micro machine style Zords. They already have a
oh
Dragon
yeah,
Zord on that
yeah.
table.
They're gonna do a
So
full 2 inch
tell
line.
yeah. So that tells you right there. They already have a 2-inch one. They already have the blueprint for the full size 15-inch, 13-inch. It should be 14, 13-inch if they're doing it
Yeah,
correctly. Um, yeah. So they already have it. They just haven't released it. I'm sure. So,
yeah.
and I'm excited for that because that means you can actually connect it. And it brings me back to around. They can actually do a Titanus and actually have the full setup because they're going to go through all 3 seasons. So yeah, that should be fun. And maybe
Oh
they'll even do the Titanus blaster for us that we never got. Japan got it, but we never got it. That little blaster they got from the mountain, having to work as a team. Tommy and Jason,
yeah.
yeah, those things.
They have a
We never got
lot
that over here.
of avenues here. It's funny that they're doing the bikes because like I remember reading from like different reports that the bikes didn't sell for like Ninja Storm, the not Ninja Storm, the Ninja Steel. Those bikes didn't have any paint and they weren't selling very well. The Super Mega Force bikes didn't sell. The bikes for like the past 10 years haven't been selling. So why would you make more bikes that don't sell? Because
It's a
because
Playmates thing.
Hasbro didn't really do bikes. They did like two bikes, and they did them in the Lightning collection. But in the regular line, I don't think they did many bikes. I mean, mini bikes, but
But
not
it's a
bikes.
you got to think about it. It's Playmates. Think about Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
Look at all the vehicles they used to release for Ninja Turtles. Look at the vehicles they're releasing now.
that's a full
Uh,
size bike.
they
That's a full size bike. So you
yeah.
remember like the original? It was like this is a Ranger and this is the bike. No, this is an entire
Hmm.
Ranger in 6 inch, and here's a 6 inch bike to go with it. So I appreciate
Yeah.
that. So even if you don't like the figure,
Oh,
you can put your Lightning collection guy on top or your whatever collection guy on top, and
well,
your legacy. You
it
can
doesn't
use your
even.
legacy on it.
Yeah, I bet you even the new articulation line would probably fit on it just fine. But
Yeah,
again, like a lot of people I heard on YouTube said, if you don't like the character, put the bikes on display with the ranger standing next to it, or a ranger on it that's not that ranger. It doesn't have to be the ranger
yeah,
that comes with. If the vest doesn't come off, put a different ranger on it. You know. And
yeah.
again, it's going to be a nice display piece. That's all it's going to be. So
Okay, so
I mean, you
here's
get it for
here's
the kids. It might be something.
yeah, here's like the last thing I'll say about the playmates, and then we can move on to the Dino Megazord because we've already been covering this for about an hour. So I'll say this: they they didn't explain this very well with the figure that comes with the battle bike. So we don't know if that armor can be taken off or it's like permanently on because of the gimmick to like fling him over. And
Yeah.
we don't know if these figures are the exact same figures as the deluxe ones, or these are like a third buck of body.
This is a different book. They do
You
explain
could
that on the
you
Pixel
could
Dan one.
yeah.
On the Pixel Dan video, if you haven't watched that one, go watch it. The guy explains it better because it's like day
So it's
one. The guy's like really
automorphin,
talking about
the
everything.
bike bodies, and then
More
the deluxe
articulation.
one, right? Yeah, the more
Yeah.
articulated,
Yeah.
the
They're three
deluxe
different
one.
they're three different sizes. I guess they're three different sizes altogether. But to me that's pretty cool because then you got options on how you want to display stuff. The chest plate, I don't know if it comes off. He doesn't no one talks about that. Like you're right about that. But uh,
Yeah,
I do know when they were talking about it, he goes, "This is a different scale than the automorphers. This is a different scale than the line that we haven't shown you yet." So I don't know
yeah,
how much of a different scale it is, but still, I think it's kind of cool.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
And the final news item for the Playmates, uh, Toy Fair, this whole thing. We're getting a re-release of season one with AI graphics in July.
Mm,
And on Netflix and YouTube and basically everywhere because it's on Tubi. You can watch the entire
yeah.
Power Ranger catalog on Tubi. I think it's on Pluto TV as
So
well. It's Amazon Prime. What do you think about this AI graphics for remixing
well,
season one?
okay. So I want everybody to know if you've seen previews of this, like on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, or any other social media, you've been watching the 2010 remake. It took me a second. I saw previews. Oh, this is the new AI one. I'm like, okay. And then we go back to like the 2010 on Netflix. Go, that's not the new AI one. That's the same scene from this. So anybody that watches those little clips that those people are showing you, they're just from 2010. That's
Yeah,
not the new show. What do I think of it? I think we talked about this at one point actually too. We talked about what they could do to the old Power Ranger show to make it better.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I
Theoretically, they
remember we
could do
we
all
did
sorts
an
of weird.
episode on.
Yeah, I am happy to hear that they're doing that, but also
Mm-hmm.
very worried. And I'm trying to tell you why I'm worried. Once and for always Megazord fight. That is why I'm worried. If they're going to do AI, if Hasbro's going to do AI for this, they could decide to take the Megazord fights to the next level and put them into CGI. They could. I hope not, but they could. And that would be it wouldn't kill the show, but it would make the people like our age just watch the show go, why do they do that? And that's what worries me. Because Once and for Always was great until the Megazord fight. And if they do that to this show, that could kill it.
I I remember we did that episode, and my idea was like condensing it down into like movies and like deleting some of the fillers.
Yeah.
So we have like five movies for Mighty Morphin or something like that. We have like the five biggest events, like the Power Rangers. Then we do the Green Candle. We do the White Light.
Mhm.
We do the Alien Rangers. We tighten that up, and the Ninja Powers, right? Those are more or less the make five TV movies or something, but condense everything.
Yeah. I don't
I
think they're
don't
going
know
to
if
do
it's
that, but
no, they're not doing that. They're like remastering all of the episodes of season one, and I think that's too much. People are not going to sit down and watch another 40 or 45 episodes of a show from 31 years ago like that. What? This isn't Cheers. This is
no, I
Power
already did
Rangers.
that
This
once.
this is dated. Yeah, unless you start releasing Cheers with AI graphics or something like. Here comes Norm. Ooh.
Mm, yeah.
Or you're
3D
shutting
vision.
off. Ooh. Yeah,
Yeah.
Woody
No, I,
Harrelson's throwing a beer at you or something. Yeah,
I
I
I
don't
get
know.
what they're doing though. They're trying to upgrade. they're trying to upgrade the graphics for the newer day kids that play video games. That's what they're trying to do. And that, like I said, that's what worries me about the Megazord stuff. It's because they could theoretically just take that slice out, redo the Megazord fights, you know, from the outside point
Yeah,
of view, make the
this seems
explosions
weird.
different, make the
Yeah,
battles different, and
you know
that's
what this
I won't say it won't.
feels like a yeah yeah. Honestly,
I won't
this
say it's gonna
kind of
kill the show, but it's gonna be different. Dude, they're coming for you, man.
yeah. They heard I got that Cowabunga Ranger life.
It
Wow, that's pretty loud. I'm wearing headphones, and if you can hear that,
was.
that's uh, they heard me talking bad about Reese Witherspoon, and they're not gonna have it. Not Reese.
Not that
Dude,
peanut butter
honestly, this
cup.
feels like yeah, dude. This should have been a DVD release, right? Like, oh, we're upgrading the or a Blu-ray release. It doesn't seem like you're gonna put this for Netflix. Like, I get it because that's the age we live in, but like, how many
Yeah.
people were
You
actually
know,
asking for this? This is
no one was asking
this,
for it. I could be honest. We know what people have been asking for, and you hit it already. They want this on Blu-ray. People have been asking for the Blu-ray version of Power Rangers. But the point of the Blu-ray, most people would say the Blu-ray would be just a waste of money because there's no way to upscale it to make it look better. Well, and now if Hasbro does it correctly, it makes the show
you could
good.
upscale
Now
it.
you can.
We
Well, you could, but I understand the concept of not upscaling it. Blu-rays would make it where you
well,
have probably like 2 or 3 discs instead of 5 or 6.
yeah.
But we'll see what Hasbro does. I'm kind of curious, or whoever's gonna do the upscaling for them. Whatever they're gonna add,
Well,
I hope to God they don't do a 2010 mess up because
yeah,
that was just horrible. I can't even watch that one. That one's just
yeah.
horrible. All the comic
Well,
book stops and stuff.
yeah, actually, the other day I was like, adding some information to some of our episodes and like, organizing them a little bit on our channel. By the way, you guys
And I
can
gotta say, I
go
appreciate
see.
that very
Yeah,
much. By the way.
yeah. Hey, we gotta, work together as a team here with.
Mhm.
But I was watching one of the episodes because I was like labeling and making sure things came out a little cleaner. You had actually talked about this like a year and a half ago, because when I was talking about upscaling video, you were saying, and I can remember this because I literally heard you say this a day and a half ago, that you can
Okay.
you can increase the DPI's so you can pump up the resolution, so you could pump this up if you
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, you could.
You
I
can
mean,
add another a filter layer of HD to kind of boost up the graphic. You could boost this up, bro. It's not an impossible to boost the Mighty Morphin thing. I
no, and the
don't think it makes
colors.
sense to put 45
No,
episodes. No, what do I
no.
know?
Yeah, you could boost the color. You could boost the color, the audio. You can clean up the audio. Um, there's so much you
You
could do
could
to it
you
to make it look nicer and sound nicer. But I think they're
yeah
gonna do more than
uh,
just that, though. I think they're gonna put visuals differences in it. Honestly, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
yeah
But
like
I'm hoping if they do this right, they will not just do the visuals for the
yeah
show, but they're gonna have to release a video game. And I'm just saying that not as a gamer, but as seeing what today is. They're having a toy line. They're gonna redo the show. They're gonna have to redo a video game for it. I know they made Reader's Rewind already, but that was for the fans of Power Rangers that's been collecting Power Rangers. They want new fans. They're gonna make a new type of Power Ranger game for the newer day fans. What kind of game that would be, I have no idea. I would have to ask my son. He's into the newer day stuff, not me. So,
well
but I say that
yeah
like,
I think their biggest success was like Legacy Wars, right? Power Rangers Legacy Wars, where they like had it was like a beat 'em up, but it was like oh, the Time Force Ranger is beating up the Mystic Force Ranger. No, that one.
oh, Legacy was, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Legacy. I thought
yeah,
Legacy Wars that lived on for like five
that was
years,
the
right?
phone.
Didn't they?
That was the phone
They kept
game, and then
upgrading.
they had
Yeah,
these. Yeah, yeah.
they kept
So they had the phone
adding packs
game,
to it.
and then they yeah. So there's actually two versions of that game, and I own the one for the Switch. So they have the phone game that's Legacy Wars, and then they have Battle for the Grid. That's basically the Lord Draken story, but it's Mortal Kombat basically and Street Fighter mixed into one with the storyline. Or the arcade mode is just that. It's just like Mortal Kombat, but they kept adding patches. So you could have this character and that character. And of course, it's all about money. You have to spend money to get these digital characters. But that game was fun. The storyline was beautiful. But again, those two
Those are good
games are meant
graphics
for.
too. Those graphics look
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
yeah. But again, those games are meant for the average day Power Ranger fan, the comic book fans, and stuff like that play video games. If we're going back to the kid line and the kids idea, we need something more for the kids standards. And if I look at what my sons are playing, it's everything from Roblox to Fortnite. And I heard a
Yeah.
rumor that Fortnite was supposed to get Power Rangers at one point, and that'd be a good way to start this whole thing with kids, young teenagers. But I don't think they ever came. I know Ninja
Well,
Turtles did, and Street Fighter did, but
I think
Power Rangers have not.
Minecraft is the one that got the Power Ranger license because I think they're the ones, or it's another game. Oh, I think we covered it on like another episode. I think Call of
We
Duty or
did. I
one of
can't
these.
remember the.
Yeah, I can't
No,
remember
it's not Call
the
of
off the top
Duties.
of the dome.
It's like a caveman type
Yeah,
situation,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
found a Morpher and Morrison. Yeah, I know. I can't remember the name of the game, but yeah, they're on like
yeah,
season 2 now of that.
yeah,
Anyways, how about we go to the next topic?
yeah. Actually, the topic of the day is the original Dino Megazord. Let's
Yeah.
look at some pictures from the original. This is what everybody, you know, had back in the day, what people loved. And right here is the pterodactyl. What do you think, buddy?
Yes, it is. Well, I gotta say, I don't care who makes the pterodactyl. It's all gonna be the same, pretty much. I don't think there's anything you can really do with the pterodactyl that's gonna change the pterodactyl,
Yeah,
unless you paint it a different color. I mean, it is just the chest plate. I mean, it's basic. Um,
yeah,
I do see a lot of differences between this one and the one that Hasbro brought out already with all the different screws and stuff that's in this one. But again, this is the
yeah.
OG Bandai
The
one, so
original.
this one's gonna be built like this one's gonna build like a tank. So I'm
Yeah,
just saying, Bandai made toys built like a tank. So no, this is perfect. And this is the one thing about Bandai is that I really like the most. I don't is this just the diamonds right here makes it look
hmm,
metallic, makes it look like a window. Uh, a lot of them don't have that. The Hasbro ones didn't have that. The one they did for the Zord extension project,
hmm.
that one looked horrible in my opinion. But that's
Yeah, because they made it
I
look
don't know
more
if it was just me,
glassy.
but I
It looks like glass with little
yeah
points on it. It almost looks
yeah it
sequin.
was just horrible.
It looked like a sequin dress across the chest of it
Yeah
for
yeah
some
yeah
reason.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember
No
that.
no, I think this is perfect right here. No complaints. I've never had a complaint about this one.
Yeah, that's the back of it
Like
right
I said,
there.
it's like I said, it's just built like a tank. I mean, there's screws and everything. And again, today's you won't see that. You won't see the screws like that. They'll have them
Yeah.
covered up somehow or another, or they'll just build it differently.
There we have the mastodon.
Now,
This
wow,
this was good too, bro. They built this thing strong because that plastic, even though it was like a form of vac metal, it still looks alright for what it is. Because I took these pictures. This is my original Dino Megazord. So it's still look. Those stickers are still there, and it's been like a million
yeah,
years. So
this ticket's a
it,
little off centered though.
well, it's been a
I'm just
million
messing.
years.
Yeah, I know.
Linear time and
I know. I'm just
space.
messing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, that it
sometimes the
looks good.
timelines move. Yeah, yeah. And those pegs were done right because that head is supposed to like pop in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, because that turns into the
Yeah.
shield. And the pegs still work perfectly. The plastic changes color a little bit because of time. Like the bottom, you could see that they're a little brownerish instead of more brown yellow than gray, which is the original thing.
Yeah.
But
Well, again, it's time, lighting, and whatever chemicals are in the air at the time of whenever you got it.
yeah,
Oxidization, basically.
yeah,
But again, Mastodon. It doesn't matter where you got a Mastodon. It's gonna look like this. It's just is gonna be a basic Mastodon mold. Doesn't matter if it's 2 inches, 10 inches. Yeah.
there's the back of it. It's just the arms folded inside.
Yeah.
We can. There's the exposed version with the head and the hands, opened out. Those pegs are still holding up perfectly, and we can't say that about the Zap Megazord.
Oh man, that Zap
Oh,
Megazord. I won't even lie. I wanted it
oh.
originally, and then I heard so many bad reviews and how to fix it. I was like, I don't want to take time to fix a Megazord.
The other day I did a Cowabunga Ranger walk, and I sent you the two
Yeah.
pictures. The Zap Megazord, and they had a Dino
Hmm.
Megazord for sale, right? At a
Hmm.
local comic shop. There's only a $5 difference. This is 120, and the Zap Megazord. No, I'm sorry. This was like 150, and the Zap is
Yeah.
145. And I was like, for $5, just get the original. This is what everybody's gonna model
Yeah.
to, or this
Exactly.
is what everybody goes to anyways. Just for $5, spend the $5 and get yourself a
Did-
piece of history because that's what it is. That's,
Yeah.
that's what the thing
So
is.
here's a
It's a
fun
moment
fact
in
for
time.
you. Here's a fun fact. Did you know the stickers here in America are different than the stickers in Japan?
That I did
Yeah, the
not.
Japanese saber-tooth tiger is what we have now. What the different
Yeah.
stickers on the saber-tooth tiger that we get now are the Japanese stickers. This one,
What
when it came to
on the
America, got these
sides?
stickers. Yeah, these stickers on the
Oh, I
side are
didn't know.
different in Japan. Yeah, the one in Japan actually has the correct stickers that were to make it look correct. So it's interesting. It even had the sticker. I believe it had the redness right here where it's supposed to have red. But
Yeah.
they had to switch it up. Americans can't be perfect. I don't know.
Well,
I,
it's
I
like
think I
it's a
think it was
cost
interesting to see the
cutting
difference.
measure. Yeah. It's a it's a pretty stupid
Well, it's
cost
still
cutting
yeah.
measure. I mean, if it's a sticker, really, like we're gonna
Yeah, this blue sticker's not.
sticker gouge people. But,
Oh my camera. Yeah, this blue sticker is supposed to be the other. Like it's supposed to be red and black. It's different than this one, but it's the same mold, same everything. And I really like this
yeah.
part of it, where Hasbro's cheap Megazord really messed this up right here. Um, I've always hated that, but this looks good. This Megazord is still one of my favorites. I had an opportunity to buy one of these a while back, and the guy wanted like $300 for it. I'm like, I can't pay $300 for 93 Megazord. It's like, dude, I've known you for like 5 years, and you still want to make me pay $300 for it now. I mean,
That
I'll,
was
I'll
the
get
money
I'll give him the
price.
credit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like I'll
That was
give
the
him the credit.
money
It was still in the
price.
box. It was in the box, but the box
Oh,
was open, and he's used it several times. But he still had the original box with it. But still, it's like I'm not paying that much money for it.
if it would have been $200 with the box, all right, but 300. But now you're just
Yeah,
like flexing. But I think 200 would have been
exactly.
kind of not fair, but at least you could live with paying $200 for an original Megazord. But anything more than that
Yeah,
is
that had.
a little much.
Yeah,
It's such a like piece of history too. It's so how do you actually put a price on this thing? Especially if it's in good condition and it isn't all rusted out. Because remember, this was still when they
yeah,
were using screws and metal. A lot. This Megazord
yeah.
is heavy. It's not like most plastics today that are just like injection molded or they're like pinless, quote unquote, but the pins are on the inside. You're still like melting the plastic into it. This was actual like
Well, look at
screwdriver. You can open this bitch with a sorry to curse, but you can open them with a screwdriver, bro, if you wanted to.
you can. and
and
people
it's
do
got
to clean them,
springs in
you
it
know.
and
And
everything. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
got springs
I,
to
I
for the holding of the T Rex.
I really think I know people want to get away from screws and all that and all the different metals and toys. I get it, but these things are built like a tank for a reason because I knew kids were rough and tough back in the day in '93 and in
Yeah,
the '80s and all that. But these things will last forever. The Power Rangers that I have lasted forever. The Turtles I have lasted forever because the way they were built. Today's toys last for 5 minutes most of the time with kids. They buy them, they break them. Not because they want to break them, it's just they break, unfortunately.
you know, I'm gonna make a prediction right now. I
Yeah,
predict that not today, but 2 years from now. Let's say 2 years from now, Playmates releases the Dino Megazord re-release. This one, the original one, because if they have a working relationship to get the 8-inch figures, you there's no. I mean, this is such a. I mean, I see them trying to do it or less, maybe less because maybe less than 2 years from today they release they re-release this, but they release it as like a collector's item because it
there you go.
is.
That's what I was gonna
Let's
say.
be
Yeah,
it is a collect. If you don't have the original Dino Megazord, even like a clean version, then you're not a Power Ranger fan. You don't like this. You could like a division of Power Ranger, but you're not really a Power Ranger fan. Like,
yeah,
if you don't have
um,
Vader and Luke and Yoda, you're not really a Star Wars fan.
yeah.
Oh, I'm a fan of
Well, I
Rey.
will say that.
Yeah, but sure.
Yeah, I will say
Yeah.
this though. I can see them re-releasing this exact one, but not this exact one. I think they would release it taller, like the one they have right now, but with the same details that this one has.
No, I think
Because
they learned their lesson because remember the whole feedback from the Technodrome. I don't think they're gonna f with this. I think they just re-release exactly. They recast it because you need fresh casting and fresh molds, but you know I
see,
think they
I
do
I
one
would
for
agree
one.
with that. I would agree with that, but the problem is I look at the Voltron line and they went bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. They keep making that Voltron even taller and taller, where it's unstable. So I could see them re-releasing this in that way, or they would release it into the Zap size or bigger than Zap. Have your original Megazord, but have it 2 feet tall. For a good price because it's not going to be made out of metal. You know,
Or,
um,
what
I
we
can
were
see them
talking
re-releasing
about,
this for sure, like you said.
I could see them also like, but going to your point, I could see them coming up with another sticker pack for it. Like it wouldn't be these exact stickers. But if you
Mhm.
got like a decal guy, you could like get yourself some stickers for like $6-7 and like flip them out to the original stickers, and you'd still have a clean version of the Dino Megazord. So because everybody and their
Yeah,
mother's gonna remodel to this, so
yeah.
that'd be a
It's
good
called
thing
B50.
too. You know, if they
Yeah,
open a line of
it's called
because
BD15.
yeah, see, there you go. You already got one in mind, so you know that if
Mhm.
these decals are running, whatever, just take them off with a little bit of alcohol and put on the new ones.
Exactly.
Yeah, there he is, the T Rex with a mouth open. Bro, this toy is still fun today. Today, it's still fun to have him, and I wish I had the other horn of the Triceratops, but those are the.
Okay, so I have to ask you because I have never had
Sure.
this in my hand ever in my life, but I have seen the Japanese one in person, and I have played with that one for a few minutes. Does that horn have the chain in it?
No, 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 no. It's straight
No. So
peg.
the
It's a
American one
horn.
got okay. Because the Japanese ones, the horns actually come out with a chain on them. I'm not even joking. If you can find
Well,
you can find a
other
video.
I've never seen that in the original one, but you might be right. I just have no opinion on it because I haven't seen it. But I know what you're talking about, and I've seen like Soul of Gogochin or whatever that one is, or the Build a Megazord. That one like that's supposed to be like $4,000. Like they give you like a Lego bag full of pieces. Maybe that one does it,
Oh wow.
or
No, this is
maybe,
the original one from
but not
Japan.
this one. This one, yeah, I haven't seen that. This
No.
one specifically do that.
Okay. You know what? I will send you the video. It has the Pink Ranger Sentai girl putting it together at the time of it's like 1990 something. It's the original one from Japan, and it's the chains actually come out of it, and she actually makes it into the battle mode or tank mode and to the Megazord mode. Has the Dragon Zord go on top of it as well. I mean, it's the exact same mold. Again, it's price cutting for America. I think it's really what it was. Or maybe Japan's like, you can have this, but you can't have this, this, and this with it. You know, um, even though it's
Could
still
be.
Bandai,
Yeah.
they might have just been, yeah,
Or you know what might have been too because back then they were still using metal plates. I mean, we use a form of metal plates, but maybe one of the metal plates got corrupted and they had to recast the head. So they just took
that's
that
a
feature out of the
possibility.
forms. Because
Yeah,
Playmates is recasting now. You know, part of their foot cruiser, they don't have all the pieces. So they have to like reinvent the pieces in 3D and like, oh, we 3D modeled the missile again. Now we got to bring it to the real world. So that might be something there too. It might be just like we lost this file or this file got corrupted, or the plastic doesn't shrink right, so you have to redo it. You know, it's still awesome to see this freaking guy, bro. Freaking the T Rex, the
hmm
Tyrannosaurus Rex. We're gonna move on to the next picture. There he is, looking just like he could.
now this is something Playmates did right too. They brought back this tail, but the Hasbro one was so I don't even know. The Hasbro Kid Line one that my son has is so like horrible. It's all
It kind
like
of curves.
you
It
know,
curves instead of going straight down. Yeah, I know what you're getting.
yeah,
It looks more
but it also
like
isn't.
something out of Jurassic Park.
It's
Yeah,
yeah, it's not even
that's
solid though. This is fully solid. It has those little like divots in it. Yeah, this one's better, and this is like what Playmates is doing. So
yeah.
I'm happy to see that part of it coming back.
Yeah, the ones that are like infamous for doing that, like casting half hollow pieces, is like modern day Transformers. You've seen modern
Yeah.
Transformers how they're all like, oh this piece is cut out, this piece is cut out to save money, save money, save money. It's
hmm
like, what are you doing? You're giving me like 3/4 of the figure.
Yeah.
I don't collect Transformers anymore except for the Beast Wars stuff once in a while, but still you could tell because everything here is closed. There's no like big caps inside of the T Rex's legs or anything like that.
No, it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah, that's the top back view of it. The hinge still works, so the tip of the tail
Believe it or
can
not, a lot.
rotate.
Yeah, believe it or not, a lot of people are missing this part on eBay. You go to eBay, and a lot of people don't have the tip. It's like okay,
Yeah, I've seen people 3D print and sell those the tip of the tail.
oops, yeah,
Yeah, that still looks very iconic too. That layout to see that big sticker
oh
inside of
yeah,
the Triceratops.
yeah, very
It's a
much
good
so.
toy. It's a good toy. It was made well. It was made well. We can
And
move on.
if anybody's wondering, if anybody's wondering about this pink shadow here, I actually took the background out, and that shadow is just the shadow from the light hitting the actual material first. So that's not paint. It's just what was left of the shadow from the background that wasn't taken out. Just to let you guys know. So I don't. If comments are asking what's with the shadow, it's not paint. It's just a shadow from the background originally. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know what just happened there. It freaked out on me. There we go.
There we, yeah, that's a another view of it. We'll move on to the next picture if you want. There you see all the stickers of it too. There's a front view of it.
That guy's been through
And
battle.
yeah, yeah, but that plastic still holds up. It didn't. That plastic hasn't cracked either. Like sometimes plastics
Yeah.
crack, but not this. This is still. It still is what it is. That's the top view of the
There's
insides.
yep,
Those
little
still work perfectly
connections.
too.
Connection. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The connector ports are still perfect. The springs are not oxidized, which is crazy. You know
Wow.
the T Rex the springs on the inside of the T Rex are a little oxidized, but that's just like a sign of the times. It isn't even horrible. It just makes the ratchety sound when you move it. But
Okay.
for something like this, it's not as bad as other figures because I've seen modern figures like try to move like those jumbo Marvel Legends figures,
Yeah.
and you're like, please don't break.
Right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the opening, the original face, opened up. There it is, connecting the back. Yeah, now we're starting to form out the Megazord here. We'll move on to the next. There it is.
Yeah, that guy's
Then
chunky too,
it
just
comes
like
in.
the new Playmates one. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, but everything still
You're missing
fits
the
perfectly.
cannons.
Yeah.
You don't have the cannons?
No, but I could probably buy those. Excuse me. I could probably
You could
get
buy
those
them
on
off of
eBay for
eBay.
like $5. Yeah, for like $5 or something.
Again,
I just have
again,
to.
people.
That's a 3D
Yeah,
printed piece
people.
all the time. So
Oh yeah, they do that all the time for that one. That and the sword itself, people are 3D printing that sword for this guy as well.
yeah, I have the sword somewhere. I just have to find it. But yeah, there he is. There's my boy. Damn, that's a good Megazord, bro. We got any more pictures, or we're done? Yeah, that's the close up one that I want to show.
There you
There it
go.
is. There's the money shot right there. There it is in all his glory. It's
Oh,
still
there's the
good too.
backside.
Yeah, the top view of it. Wanted to show the
Oh, you're showing
openings
off
for
the
those
connection.
pegs. Yeah, always good to show that off. The
I had these in
master
order, but
opening
I
up.
guess they just yeah. I had these in
Yeah,
orders, but I guess they decided not to stay in order.
yeah, because we went from picture to picture, and we eventually filled out but these were like missing from the middle of the Megazord Secrets has
Yeah,
been initiated thing. Yeah, so,
there's your hand. I couldn't get rid of it. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And that's the last picture, I guess. So
Cool beans. So let's
yeah.
get back to this a little bit. So since we're like starting to run on time, just tell me if you want me to pause on some of these news items. All right.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
we're past the Playmates part, and now this is just like other things of Toy Fair. So we actually did an entire episode on this last year, and it's come back. Super 7 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 slash Wave 13 slash Wave 2. The figures, Shredder, Casey, Foot, and Splinter, were on display at Toy Fair. So I don't have much more to say than we did from that episode. Everything I said in that episode, I pass it on to here. There's nothing in the box. There's not enough in the box. There's way not enough in the box. What do you got to say about this
Yeah.
one? The Super 7.
Well, kind of like the same thing you just said. I don't really have much to say. I have one critique that I didn't like, and it's really just a critique. I think they messed up the shredder. They had the Utron there, shredder Utron. You can't do nothing with it. It's supposed to go inside the shredder body, but it's just an add-on that doesn't do anything at this point. So what's the point?
Well, in this show, the Shredder is a neutron. So I think his name
That
is Krell or something. But yeah,
yeah,
it's
you know what I
probably
mean. It
for
was supposed to be you're supposed to have an
re-release.
opening. Yeah,
Yeah, that's just that looks very much like it'll be re-released later on, but they just give it a new abdomen so it'll be able to like slide in, you know.
actually,
But they can
I
use
thought Shredder was a
the exact same of the body. Yeah, no,
yeah.
he's a
I thought Shredder
in the
was a human
2002.
in Turtles 3 until he dies, and then they come back with the Utron.
Yeah, he dies a couple
I
times.
thought,
But yeah,
yeah, okay,
well,
I thought
when
so.
they decapitate him, that's when they find out that because that was I think that was the end of season 1, and then season 2 they start revealing, oh yeah, he's a neutron, so he could be headless because he's actually in the stomach. He's not head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on from that one, this one was a little like sad to see, and I just found this out like today because Loyal Subjects has lost the Ninja Turtles license. So, and this was
Huh?
kind of via Pixel Dance. So Loyal Subjects isn't going to be making Ninja Turtles anymore. No more Loyal
Okay.
Subjects Turtles.
I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that
Yeah,
one yet,
they're
but
done.
okay.
They're like,
That kind of
and I
sucks.
think
But
yeah,
I,
Pixel Dan got the exclusive, or they got to talk about that, but here and there. So
I will
we'll
say
ask
this
Pixel
though.
Dan more about it.
I will say this, but I said this about most companies, most franchise companies. When too many people have their hands on one license, that's when things go wrong. Because if you have five people with one license, you have multiple figures coming out. What license do you want to use? What company do you want to go through?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I think they're like super focused on other things, anyways. Because their big showing, the loyal subjects, was the mask. You know those like micro figures with the cars. They're making a comeback. And they're like
Yeah.
recreating them. Yeah, that I saw a little bit of it. I'm not a fan of mask, so but I did see so many people were talking about, oh, we got an entire display layer, and like we're doing this and we're doing that car and that car and this character and that guy, and I guess that's the new focus for the loyal subjects, just making masks. Next
Yeah, and a
news
few other
item,
characters they did. Yeah.
yeah. The next news item here is Trick or Treat Studios. Uh, they showed this off 2 years plus ago. Their
Hmm.
characters, because okay, so the next character is going to be the mayor, and they had a painted prototype at Toy Fair, and they also gave an update on the Ivanka figure. That one's been delayed, which kind of sucks because I wanted to get one, but that's kind of there. Nobody really talks about Toxic Crusader, so we'll do it for a sentence or two. It's not bad. And the next Toxic Crusader thing is actually the Peter Dinklage, the Toxic Avenger movie. Trick or Treat is doing a mask for them, so there's that. Next, this I saw today, and today they actually put the price for this, and I was like, bro, you are out of your freaking mind. And you probably know what I'm talking about here. Mondo's releasing the Super Shredder for $150. The pre-orders went up today. What?
Yeah.
What, bro?
Yeah, I
150
saw it.
bucks. It looks like a good, you know, figure. I'm not gonna say it looks bad, but it's got such minimal articulation. I'm not an articulation snob, obviously, because I collected the Super Seven because that's more in the past than in the present. But I don't know who can justify spending $150. This isn't even a collector item because this is something that's coming out now. You know this. Oh, you're spending $150 on original Dino Megazord. That makes sense because it's a classic timepiece. This is a fresh piece of plastic, bro, and it's not even plastic. It's a Sofubi. So I'm not talking bad about the sculpts. I'm not talking bad about the design. I'm not talking about the nice because I said this before too. If this was a 5-inch line and it was $20, I'm in. But I don't have space for any of this stuff. This is like I don't know. You got to get rid of your armoire and get. You got to get rid of your fridge or something to make space for some of these figures. I don't know. What do you think, bro?
You nailed it. It's too big. All those figures are way too big, and yeah, they're not for me. I think the price range is really expensive, especially in today's economy. Let's put it that way. You know?
Bro, I thought they jumped the shark with their Ray Fillet because Ray Fillet was gonna be like what 115. Remember that Ray Fillet, the Mondo Ray Fillet is like 115, and then I think
Yeah,
Mondo Gecko from Mondo, I think he's like 120 or something. But this is, and he does all he comes with is skateboard. I think I think this shredder only comes with like the big spike with the ball thing there, but that's about it. All the figure does is
yeah,
this and a little bit of leg movement. It's not like the clearance is long enough to actually even make the figures kick. And the head rotates, I'm guessing, but it's not on a peg. It's basically it's just a circle rotation. It's not a oh I can put you can't put the pose like this or this. You can only do this. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I don't
Not
know what
much.
Mumbo's doing. I don't know. Very nice work aesthetically, like I said. If this was a $20 line at 5 inch, I can pair them up with my original turtles because I like the designs. I like how this looks. I'm in. I don't have any. I'd have. I'd have to like. I get it. Like it's a collector line for a specific target audience, and if it exists, great. But you know, it's exaggerated proportions now. I don't know what you think about this, but how do you think they're gonna do April? Like they turn April into like Jessica Rabbit, or like make her very. How would you do April in this line? Because there's only like two
That
girls in
is,
the line. It's you know,
yeah. I don't know. It would be different. um,
because you're
yeah,
gonna
be like a
give her
Jessica Rabbit. I guess.
jumpsuits.
I guess. Yeah.
But what else would you do? You're not gonna give her a giant, news camera gun thing, because you're you're borrowing a lot from the original Playmates aesthetic, anyways. Like I think they're doing what Super Seven tried to do, but didn't succeed when they originally launched the Ultimates Ninja Turtles. When they were doing like those alternate heads for the turtles, but with the original
Yeah.
bodies. Like I think that's where they're going, but they just like push it a little more because the Mondo figures are all supposed to be like they're all like tight and like
Yeah.
compacted, like yeah. So I don't know. That's that. Next news item here is McFarlane, and it's actually three little things for McFarlane. The first is I'm happy for this, but I'm hoping he does actually stick with it because his original McFarlane line was crap, and that was for the Mortal Kombat. They do McFarlane's doing
Hmm.
Mortal Kombat Classics, so it's gonna be like the first game and the second game, and
Oh,
they got a
nice.
yeah, they got like 5 characters already outlined. They're gonna have a couple of 2 packs with Sub Zero and like alternate hands, and they teased Raiden, but he was already at the show. Raiden was the leak.
Oh, wow.
McFarlane's standing right there next to the Raiden, and he's like, "Don't take pictures of Raiden," but he put Raiden right in the middle of the wave of the figure. Oh my god, bro! You put Raiden to the side if you don't want to spoil Raiden, because you know you're doing Raiden, Shao Kahn, you're doing Liu Kang.
Hmm.
Yeah, you, if
Yeah,
you're gonna do
Sonya.
it, because I hope they do Sony, because there's actually never been an articulated Sonya figure in 6 inch or 7 inch form. Come on, McFarlane. This might become like the McFarlane podcast too, because like since we kind of talked off air about this, how we're kind of like getting off the Super Seven train. I think it's time to hop aboard the McFarlane train because he's got some stuff coming with Mortal Kombat and oh well, that also
Yeah.
leads into the next point. McFarlane lost the DC license to Mattel, so there's no more DC multiverse,
You
which
know, that's
kind of
gotta hurt him
sucks because
bad. But
yeah, bro,
that's
financially
gotta
that's gonna
hurt.
be a big hit, bro. I don't know if Mortal Kombat's gonna be the thing to replace the DC because he's not gonna get to do Batman and Superman and all these things anymore. So that sucks. Uh, he was doing a good job with the movie figures. I remember I was telling you I was like tempted if they do Batman Returns or Batman
Hmm.
'89 and they make Joker. I was like, I'm gonna have to buy it because it'll all be in scale. But like now they, bro, like what?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause honestly, like if there was like 2 figures, 2 toys that I had to buy McFarlane right now, what he actually got to do them. So I'm kind of happy for him that he was able to do Christopher Reeve Superman, and he was able to do '89 Batman Keaton. So if I can get Reeves and Keaton, I think I'm done because he's not gonna get to do Lex Luthor. He's not gonna. He's done. He's got like not Dead Man Walking, but the brand is a Dead Man Walking because it's done. It's done. Mattel is got their own people coming in and they're doing their thing now. So there's that. And the last little piece of the McFarlane trilogy of news, if you will, is we were actually right about this 2 years ago, and we stopped talking about this in July. But for some freaking reason, okay, McFarlane debuted the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles page punches Leonardo. It's like, what? I thought we put this to bed, bro. What do you think here, bro?
Nope.
Because
We're not putting it to bed. I think it's
I thought we were
kind of a
done.
stupid move at this point.
What?
At this point, I think it's kind of stupid because everybody's losing different licensing. And yeah, I get it. He has a license at the moment, but how long does he have the license for?
Okay, so McFarlane and Ninja Turtles. It's gonna be in the Page Punchers thing, but Page Punchers is still a multiverse 7 inch figure line, anyways. And they showed renders for Leonardo, and again, your boy McFarlane being McFarlane, he set up the toys, and he said, "Don't take pictures of this," but he already revealed that he's already got the 4 turtles sculpted. So he is like prototypes of the 4 turtles, Rocksteady, Bebop, Shredder, and I think April. And they're all using the IDW looks. So I think this might also be like a backlash to like loyal subjects because loyal subjects was doing the turtles in the IDW style, quote unquote, and now McFarlane's gonna do IDW style. So, I don't know. You think it's stupid for him to be doing something that close to somebody else's ending? To like, oh, let's redo it because that's what he's doing. What do you think here, Brad?
I think he doesn't have his own ideas at this point. I think he just needs to copy somebody. And when it comes to turtles, turtles are so broad that there's really not much you can do for design that's not already out there. Because if you reimagine them too much on your own design, you better have a good comic book behind it. I know that's the whole Puncher thing as a comic book, but he's not using any of the comic book besides probably one that's already been out there. So the
Yeah,
design's
he's
gonna have to
partnered
go
with
along with that
IDW,
IDW comic book. Yeah,
so he's not
it's
even
just a
getting the
stupid thought.
comic book money.
In my opinion, it's
Yeah,
the whole thing is stupid just to do. It's like right now, Power Rangers would not be the thing to do either. And he was supposed to do that too. Remember, a Page
yeah, there
Puncher,
was rumor for that
Super.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I
think he
think
should be doing that right now.
he put in a bid that year that there was talks of you know the license being moved around because there were like pauses in the Lightning collection. So, oh, what would happen? I think we did an entire episode like what would happen if McFarlane were to take the Power Ranger license. Because I'm pretty sure he put in
Yeah,
a bid, but maybe his bid wasn't like strong enough. But I
he
don't know.
put a bid in for that Transformers and Turtles, and I guess he got the Transformers and Turtle line for sure.
Yeah,
But the Power Ranger line probably fell out when Hasbro's like, no, no, we're done, and we're not gonna let you do it because we already have other people doing our Power Ranger line, and you're just gonna waste our money.
yeah, yeah, bro. It's one of those things too, man. It's interesting to see what he's gonna do because if he gives me a nice seven, and we talked off air a little bit about this, like if McFarlane can give me a nice collector line of Ninja Turtles, I guess I'm in. And and since the Ninja Turtles only have like two or three females, and he doesn't like making females, but he does like making giant monsters, it goes very well with him, because he's gonna do a bang up job making Rocksteady and Bebop. You know that already. He's already done them. His style. But for Rocksteady, Bebop, for him to do Mondo Gecko, for him to do Ray Fillet, all of these characters, that's gonna be cool as hell. I don't even have to see him to know it's gonna be good. And the buck that they're using with Leo, it looks good, and I think that they altered the bucks some because they're all gonna be different sizes, the turtles. So they're gonna
Okay.
be using some pieces, but not all. It's not like He-Man where you just like switch out the head, the belt, and the gloves. No, this is like a lot of pieces are gonna be shared, but a lot are not. So I don't know. Yeah. And with that, buddy, I think we are done. But I'll give you I'll I want to give you a question, and you can answer this, and I think this will be a good stopping point for the because I think we've had a great show, right?
I've had a
Hello.
great show, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we've covered a lot of material here too. But here's my question to you, and and I'll let you have the final word here. By the way, everybody, subscribe if you like our stuff or share it, all that fun stuff. Here's the question: do you think loyal subjects makes a flex for the Power Ranger license? Because let's be honest. I don't think Super Seven is holding on to the Power Ranger license. So do you think loyal subjects would at least try to get the Power Ranger license?
At this time, like right now, like if they wanted to right now, is that what you're asking?
If,
Or
yeah, if
just
they
in
want to get in
general?
the game, yeah, if they want to get in the game and they're like, you know what, not a lot of people make Power Rangers. It's not as saturated like you said about Ninja Turtles because everybody and their mother's making Ninja Turtles. So if loyal
I don't
subjects
think
get in the Power Ranger game,
I think loyal subjects honestly will not do it yet. Maybe in about a year, year and a half, because they know Playmates just got the line. So, as a business type of mindset, I think they would wait to ask Hasbro for the license. because I don't think they would want that competition off the hand of, well, Playmates has the global license. Why would I give it to you when I got 3-0 and I got Super 7 and I got another company or something, I don't need another company promoting Power Rangers as I'm trying to get Playmates to promote. I think Loyal Subject probably has that same mindset going, if I want Power Rangers, I'm going to wait a year to see what happens with the Playmates line. See if people are buying it or not. And if they're not, we're going to try to swoop in and get it. Or if Playmates actually does a collect line or not. If they don't do the collect line, we'll do it. So we'll sweep in and do it. But I think it's going to be about a year if Loyal Subjects tries that. At least negotiation might be sooner, but it'd be a
Yeah,
year before they would
yeah,
actually release
you
anything.
might, yeah, because well, here's why I'm thinking maybe they do, and this would be interesting too because the way that loyal subjects could hypothetically go into it, if Super Seven loses the license, right? Because let's be real, it's a very good possibility Power Rangers and Super Seven are done. It's really,
I almost
let's
guarantee it is.
okay, so I could see loyal subjects sticking to the Boom Comics. Let's make Boom Comics Power Rangers. Everything Boom Comics, Boom, 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 boom. I think there they can live because Playmates is going to be doing Mighty Morphin for the time being for the next 3 years. But if loyal subjects would come in or another company anyway to like I think Boom because there's so many avenues you can go with the Boom Comics. You can make Lord Draken, you can make the Centuries, you can make the new Power Rangers Prime team, the one with the purple Tyrannosaurus
Yeah.
one.
Hmm.
There's a lot of ways There's a lot of different sculpts for the Boom comics, so I think Boom would be the avenue to go, right?
Yeah. I mean, they could do that. I could see them doing that. Um,
But just
but
exclusively
trying to hit,
Boom comics, yeah.
yeah, if they were trying to hit up the Power Ranger line itself, like they would have to skip Mighty Morphin out of the Boom comics, though. They would have to probably just go straight for Lord Draken, the Alien Rangers, and stuff like that that are not exactly the
Or
first three seasons of Power Rangers. They would have to skip through some of that and go into, like you said, the Boom comics. I don't know much about the Boom comics actually. I just know at one they have different series of Power Ranger comics. I know that much. So
yeah, well there's enough content there that I think they could, I even if you do Mighty Morphin, Playmates is doing Mighty Morphin toys. If you do Mighty Morphin comics, you could live there. I mean, that's not a bad spot for loyal subjects to be in, hypothetically, you know. But that's just something
yeah,
to think about. Want to thank everyone for joining us on this episode, and we will be back soon with more stuff. Oh, and we also have 2 episodes that are dropping super soon. One episode is with me, the first solo episode of me with. I had talked about this with the Serpentera, so I kind of cover the Serpentera that I 3D modeled and designed and everything. That's one episode that's live right now at this moment. And the other episode is one that my buddy here, DTV, did. That's behind the scenes of this this colossus of a
this
show.
podcast.
And
Yeah,
yeah, behind the scenes of
I think you guys.
Cowabunga
I
Ranger
think you guys
Talk.
gonna enjoy that one. Because
Yeah,
it's a lot that goes into a show like this, and I don't think a lot of people understand how in depth it really takes to get some of these episodes out. And yeah, I think people are gonna enjoy it, and it's a really good one. It's based around one of the Power Ranger episodes we did. So yeah,
cool
hopefully you guys
beans.
enjoyed that one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Super Terror one. So you guys have a great night, good evening, good day, whatever. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.